Legenda, and we are here live for you guys, and we are now today south of Riga, digging World War I positions, and we have already located soldiers, and behind me here we are opening up a crater where it's several soldiers laying probably. So now they are just making the pit bigger so we can work properly and find all the guys that are laying down here. And we will be live every day for the next week, so share the video, follow us, and have fun, enjoy!
So let's get a little closer. There's a few new guys here. I'll just show you how close we are to the road. Pretty close to the road. There seem to be a lot of positions along here. I'll just move out so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, you can see right along. There's the road. So we're going to move in, have a look. I think the guys are, they've covered the bodies back up again. Because they're going to go and move all this soil away from this place because there's more going along here. There's more soldiers. Let's walk around. As you can see, we've found some remains already. Trying to work out what direction they're going to go.
In this undigged, no. This part is lighter sand. Yeah, this is ground. Yeah. And this is ground, yeah. Not digged.
So let's find out what Peter thinks, because he's been digging in here since the start. I'll walk over. So what have you got in there, Peter?
Well, we found two boots sticking up.
Let's come out here. Let's come out here, because maybe it's better to do the live stream. Yeah.
On the right side we found a skull.
On
the left side we found two boots sticking up like this. So I think the soldier goes in deeper.
Yeah.
So we have to make the hole bigger.
Yeah.
To cover him up.
Yeah.
Es esmu tagad Džonijam asistents.
Jā.
Džonij, tu zini, tev ir asistents, jā? Zini, kā asistents strādā, jā? Tu zini, kā asistents strādā?
Jā.
Ot asistents, kā tu strādās, kā tas un kā tu vedi. Tā te, abā. Abā. Assistent.
So here we've got some positions. You can see where we're walking through. And these are all positions overlooking the hill. And some big holes with big bunker holes. And here we've got some of the other Legenda guys. So, here we go. We found the other guys. Some of our Lithuanian digger friends who have been helping Legenda a lot. I think one of them's going to get his patch this week too from Legenda.
Так, kurš runā angliski? Runā angliski? Ты разговариваешь на английском?
Да, не очень.
Давай, будешь рассказывать.
So this guy, Vlad's, he's found pretty much all these positions and all these soldiers himself and give us the information. He's a member of Legenda. Found hundreds of soldiers.
Today we are
Yeah.
exhumating soldiers from World War One, and I think in this pit is the last one soldier, maybe more, but one is definitely. And it's interesting because it's also a garbage pit. In garbage pit was dropped the soldier, so.
Yeah, so he's been dumped in a garbage pit.
Yeah, and we don't know it is from Germany or Imperial Army.
They don't know yet who, what nationality he was.
And the stuff we found is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's have a look what they've took out of this garbage pit already. Bear with me. What have we got here?
And
Oh, look.
we found already the boot.
A lot of junk. All broken stuff. Well, they were living here for a long time.
Halo, jā? Tu varētu lūdzu sazināties ar Orlovu un pateikt, ka es šodien nebūšu uz apakškomisiju, ja viņiem notiek, es aizmirsu paskatīties. Tos, ko medicīnas veselības.
Bayonet.
Arisaka.
Arasaka, yeah.
Tad varbūt
The
arī
Japanese
nav.
stuff.
Labi.
Which seems to be littered in these forests. Yeah, and the standard ammunition. All that stuff's handed in. And what have we got here? Look at this, with battle damage. All garbage stuff that was broken or damaged in the battles. It's a clip. Arasaka, yeah. In pretty good condition still. Of course, all this goes away. This is the sort of stuff you find on the soldiers. Shrapnel. You could imagine this red hot, going through the air. Deadly stuff, and it's pretty heavy too. Here we got another one. Wow, that's really heavy. Piece of the fuse, likely. Yeah, looks like it. And deadly metals. Yeah. Yeah. And of course that's all gotten rid of. Some sort of cup. Of course there's no real interesting things. It's just what they had in the trenches with them, and what probably broke in the trenches with them. Like he said, this is a garbage pit. That's an interesting question, how this Japanese stuff ends up in the forest here. And I'll ask Andres that in a minute, when I find him again, because he could tell the story much better than I can. He's very passionate about the battles that happened here. So let's have a look what else is here.
Nu, un tagad stāsti. Taču es atkārtoju.
So one there is definitely. This is what it is. We don't know.
Yeah.
But this is the boot, as you see. So destination like this, we don't know.
Not easy, it's quite deep already. Although it's lucky the ground's like this. It's pretty easy to dig.
Oh, stop it.
Да. Ты возле машины нашел пакет, да?
So let's have a look at Vlad's. This is the guy who found most of these positions. And this is how he's finding them. With such a long spike. I'll try and get a closer look at it.
Rubbish hole.
It's homemade? You made it yourself? Yes?
Yeah.
You made it? Yeah. Yeah. So this piece of metal and all his time has found hundreds of soldiers around here. Yeah. And he's just found another rubbish pit. So let's have a look. What have we got here? You need to be really careful here because all these old positions have lots of broken stuff like this. Some sort of cup or jar. So look, there's something interesting come out of this trench.
That's солнце. Sunglasses.
Sunglasses, yeah. Or riding glasses, or yeah.
Да.
Какие-то очки. Да.
Это вот...
Да.
Это ремешок.
Ремешок.
Ну, как, чтобы их вот здесь закреплять.
Ладно, поставим.
Will you open it, Regina?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I try.
Just have a look if there's anything hidden behind it. Yeah. So this was lying near the soldier's boot.
Это веревочка, да. Вот это. Да, понимаю. Одно в одном, да?
Likely two stuck together. Yeah. Yeah, not easy to open, huh? Yeah, not easy to open.
Oh.
So let's check in the trench again. And there's a few more things came out. Seems to be a garbage pit. Still more clips. So that was just by his boot, huh? Yeah.
Сейчас рассказывай, пожалуйста, какой сторону он уходит и что ему было на английском.
Пока не знаем.
Ну, ты рассказываешь, ты пока не знаешь,
Талос.
что уходит куда-то под низ там. Давай, рассказывай.
For now,
Uh-huh.
Wilma and Regina trying to find out the position of soldier. And in a minute, I think we will know. We'll need to move this ground or not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so,
Which is a lot, huh?
yeah.
With the shovel.
Yeah, no tractors here.
No tractor here, yeah. Oh, what's it? What is it?
I think it's
Some shrapnel maybe, or?
yeah.
Oh.
Going around. Maybe from battery. Yeah.
Yeah, likely.
This is Okay, for now there is no place for me.
And of course they're checking all these small bits with a pinpointer then too. They got the glasses open. Let's have a look. And they were in this little tin. It's like a part of the strap to hold it on. With some fabric still on them. Over 100 years in this little pouch since they seen the light over 100 years ago. Oh. So let's walk. As you can see, it's quite steep. I'm going to walk back through these positions, back up into the forest again, into the other position, and see how far they got with expanding the hole. So let's go into these positions again. You can see some big holes, some big bomb holes, some big bunker holes, and I can walk right through it. Do you see how deep these are? And some of the vegetations is even the height of my head. It's quite interesting. Forests here are beautiful. And here you can see we're on the positions again. Look at them all overlooking this forest to the left. A road to the right. All these positions. So we're back to the first group again. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, the hole certainly looks much bigger.
So there's a lot left to do. Yeah.
Have you found anything in here?
There's something in here, but I've lost it now.
Okay.
It is very high.
It's not easy work. Everything needs to be gone through. There could be something small in here that leads to an identity or some sort of information.
Into the holes and you found soldiers. So there's a lot left. Yeah. Okay. Big job. How many days?
As for the road question, it starts to go downhill, so I think these positions were overlooking both sides on a ridge. And it's not very far from the road actually. But it goes downhill from there, so they were likely covering both sides here on the ridge. You can really see how deep we are. I'll walk around, talk to some of the guys. From what I see, we have members from Sweden, from Canada, Norway, Latvia. There's a lot of different nationalities in here, which is quite unique with Legenda. All gathered together for one mission, which is to recover soldiers.
Yeah, you found the.
So let's get a closer look.
Yeah. Yeah, close. Yeah. But is this is not machine gun hull, this place?
Yeah, it's
No, it's not.
always.
So let's walk around. Maybe we can get a better view. I seen one guy's right on what looks to be the remains of a soldier. Oh yeah. So what have you got here? A skull. Which is likely collapsed with the weight of all the sand.
So these were all German positions.
And we still don't know if these are Germans or Tsarists or what we have here. So so I can have a look at it. Yeah.
Nose, eye, upper jaw.
Yeah.
I haven't found any teeth, but maybe the teeth where we see.
Who were winning? Yeah, here on the south.
But maybe it was only one soldier. Both is there and the skull is here.
I'll just pan around,
Find any bones in
show you what it's like here in the forest. Of course, 100 years ago, this was hell on earth. It wasn't so beautiful like it is today. The conditions are pretty good. It's pretty warm. A lot of mosquitoes are out. There's a light breeze, but it's perfect conditions for digging. You can see one of the Legenda guys, Einar's. And we were with him yesterday. We were checking some information in gardens and whatnot, trying to decipher where soldiers were for another expedition, or yeah, just working on the information, making sure the sources are reliable. We had a 90-year-old guy whose father buried a few soldiers after a battle on the edge of a road in the middle of a forest, and now we have this information. And the guy himself was 90. He was only a young boy during World War II. So it's a lot of work, a lot of driving around, a lot of work goes on before this live stream could even happen. You can see these guys are deep in this hole already, which looks also to be a part of the positions, running around into these parts.
Maybe we should lift this one up.
Yeah, so
I think he's playing that he's been chucked in the
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay. Is there a bone? Okay.
So probably have to go much more that direction.
Okay.
I think, yeah. Because,
Andres,
the boots
one
are
story
starting
you
up
could
there.
maybe tell is
They-
about
like
the
this.
why there's Japanese items here. There was a lot of comments about that. Let's get closer first. Let's yeah.
The thing with Japanese items is that Russia, they had a lack of weapons and ammunition, especially in 1915. Therefore, they were searching for any ammo and any weapons they could get. In that way, they got French obsolete rifles, like I think it's called Gra rifle. They got some obsolete Italian rifles, obsolete Russian rifles, which they used for second line troops. And then, as far as I understood, before First World War or early in First World War, UK bought a bunch of Arisaka rifles from Japan, and they intended them for their navy. But then they switched their mind, and Russia bought those rifles from UK. And then they bought some from Japan along with ammo. Plus they had some captured rifles from the Russian-Japanese War of 1905. And those rifles were rather common, especially in this part of frontline. Even more common than Mosin. We find much more Arisaka ammo than Mosin ammo. They were widely used by Latvian riflemen and Siberian riflemen. Before the Arisaka rifles, Latvian riflemen were issued Winchester rifles made in USA. I think Winchester model 1895, chambered in Mosin cartridge. The interesting thing with that rifle was that it was a Winchester rifle, which was lever action, but you could load it with stripper clips, not like usually Winchester rifles which have tubular magazine, but the ones which had stripper clips. But those were great rifles, light, precise, nicely made, but they were good for cavalry, and they were very bad for infantry, because one thing was, when you open them up to reload, it exposes whole mechanism. And if artillery is shooting around you, you get a lot of dirt in there, and then your rifle stops to work. And another thing was, it was almost impossible to reload it while you were laying down on the ground, because you should to swing it down, and then soldiers had to roll on the side and then reload them. And then Latvians had the thing, they called it Winchester elbow, because your elbow was high, exposed, and it was a big chance to get a bullet or splinter in your elbow.
Yeah, for sure.
And many guys using Winchester rifles got injuries in the right elbow.
Just from reloading, yeah.
Just from reloading, because they exposed it high and got
Wow. Interesting story. You explained it really well. It's perfect.
And use the Swedish-Norwegian flag as background.
What?
The Swedish-Norwegian flag as background.
Yeah, maybe. I'll find a figure and make one. Searching.
What happened to that little trench trail?
Okay, there's something else come out here. Enka, you want to show us?
Yeah, it's an enamel cup which the soldiers were having. They used it on the side of their equipment for tea or coffee or whatever they needed to drink. And it's not very special, but what's cool is that it's produced in Sweden.
Whoa.
And we have one time before found some enameled bowl.
An
Last
enameled
year
bowl.
we found also made from Sweden, same stamp.
Huh.
A fun little.
Yeah, interesting how it ended up here.
Yeah.
Want to show us the marking again on the back? Let me get another look at it. Yeah. Yeah, you can see Sweden clearly underneath it. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
About the animal stuff, it was very common back then. It was cheap to produce, and as you see, it's rather sturdy stuff even after 100 years in the ground.
Yeah.
And there was a movement of civilian help for frontline, and the women and families were providing some tableware for soldiers along with other stuff. And rather common were such cups. Small animal cups with flowers. Usually they have flowers painted on them, and they were made in special shape that the shape was like
Yeah, okay, so put it down.
like this,
We hold it at the moment. So we just
the shape, and here was the handle. So if you hold it in hands, it fits very well, and you could not only drink a tea, but you could warm your hands.
Yeah, it had a
And-
practical element.
Yeah, and battles here, they were sometimes in minus 25 degrees Celsius, and you get your fingers very cold very fast, and it was very important to keep them warm, not to get frostbitten.
Yeah.
in that direction. Couldn't we have a stick so we can stick this area?
Shall we walk over to the other position again? Have a look. In the other position, they found a lot of stuff. They found a lot of items. There's a rubbish pit.
As easy for the arm lying in this position. So it seems like we have going in that direction. But if we have a skull there, we don't know what. I don't know. Maybe. This one, yes? No, this. No, this one is a piece of pork.
So let's go back to the other position. See how far they got. And as I walk through here again, I'll just skim around and you can see the positions overlooking the road and the ridge. You can just imagine the soldiers running through here over 100 years ago.
Johnny,
Yeah.
have you been to the far place?
No. So there's another place by the sounds of it.
Another place.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to follow Andres then. Let's have a look. So we've got three ditches on the go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if we go to that place,
Uh-huh.
we go through forest and show forest, not that side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go to Vlad and then go
Yeah.
far away from.
It's a really thick forest. Me and Inka has already walked around today. A little bit lost. As you can see, look, he's hit something and they're trying to work out what it is. Look how deep it was, yeah. Show us how deep it is. Up to his shoulders, yeah. Up to his shoulders deep.
Алло, копай.
So yeah, let's have another look through what came out of this dump pit. So we're back here on this hole. Let's have just a quick look from above, what's going on. They're freeing up the boot. Yeah. Looks to be a garbage pit. So, they likely found something interesting in here. They're asking me to come over. Let's have a look.
Handgranat.
Hand grenade. Not easy. Looks like the wood's preserved.
If I'm correct, that's a German hand grenade. That's a German potato masher.
Potato masher style, yeah.
And as we say, grenades don't have nationalities.
Yeah.
They have only producer. useful for both sides.
Kas tur tajā ir? Bedrē.
Tur?
Jā.
Tur arī?
Cik? Cik tālu?
Nezinu.
Tur kaut kāds attīrīts?
Kaut viņi tīri vaļā. Johnny?
Yeah. What have we got here? All the stuff.
Да. So,
Inka!
these items
Das
are
nicht
coming from
Norwegia.
that.
This is Latvia, Letland.
What do we see here? Again, Arisaka ammo.
Plus 30.
The early ones with
Das ist
round bullets, and the later ones with sharp bullets.
Let's have a closer look. So you got the sharp version and the other version.
Oh, closer. T-shirt. So what else do we have? This looks like I think for ink. These are parts of Russian water bottle. And this is one of the porcelain cups which I was telling about.
It fits in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which fits.
I think there was one of them with the design there.
Not this one.
Not that one.
This is porcelain cup. I was telling about animal cup.
Enamel, yeah.
But these cups were
Similar
supplied
shape.
by people. This is issue musket. Some kind of animal. This seems to be shoe polish.
That was inside it. Yeah, that was inside it.
Yeah, and the protective glasses were inside it. This is a Arisaka bayonet from Arisaka rifle. This is a barrel cap from Arisaka rifle.
Let's have a closer look at this one.
It usually have Japanese marking here in the middle.
Yeah. As you can see, the mosquitoes are everywhere.
This is a cap from German potato masher grenade. Some ammo pouches. This is rather interesting stuff. It is part of wire cutters used on a barrel of Mosin rifle.
So this went on the end of the rifle,
Yeah.
and as they were advancing, they could cut the barbed wire.
Это на винтовку Мосина.
Went on the end of the rifle, and they could cut the wire, the barbed wire.
Yeah.
And this is the bottom of a potato masher. Screwed it off. German stick grenade. So a lot of rubbish in there, huh? A lot of broken stuff.
Yep.
And some leather pieces with studs.
And among the Arisaka cartridges is one Mauser rifle casing.
So a German one among all their other
German
ones.
one, which is not shot, which was breaking out. Maybe to make to start a fire or something like that.
Yeah.
And some casings are bent by explosion, it seems.
And what were these for?
These are some kind of protective
Glasses.
goggles. I have seen them before.
They're issued stuff, issued equipment.
Issued equipment, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know really what for they were used. No, I know what for they were used. They were used together with that gas mask, which was made from cloth.
Okay,
Cloth,
so very
soaked-
primitive
yeah.
gas mask,
cloth
eye
soaked
protection.
with some chemicals
Yeah.
to like a countermeasure for
gas.
poisonous gases. Yes.
Yeah.
And this one was to protect your eyes.
To protect the eyes from
the gases.
And he had it in this tin.
Yeah.
which maybe was a shoe polish tin or something like this.
This was shoe polish tin.
Yeah.
It has some black residue.
Yeah, there's
inside.
some black stuff inside it. It looks like to be a marking on this, huh?
This one, yes, 15 milliliters. No idea.
Another interesting fact is this bag. You want to explain what this bag is?
So
Let's move the junk.
this is the official bag of Latvian War Cemetery Commission. That is the logo of Latvian War Cemetery Commission and their website.
Yeah.
These bags we use, these are official body bags. Unfortunately, we are running out of them, and we need to order the next
new one.
batch. The next batch soon.
Is there anybody still in the hole? Maybe.
I think Wilma with the Regina.
Oh, they're still there. You can really see how hidden they are in such a deep position. Just to give you an idea what sort of day it is, have a look around.
Maybe Johnny, take a look
Uh-huh.
how blood works with the probe.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Давай ты вместо меня как будто.
А?
Давай ты вместо меня.
So he's chasing a signal already, and how deep is
Yeah,
it?
so-
It's
so-
very deep, huh?
No, it's not a signal, but with the
Or
probe,
some probe, yeah.
you can understand how deep.
Yeah.
the
But that's a
position
lot.
are.
Like, show us how tall that probe is. Pull it out. Yeah, look how tall it is. very
you can
big.
Understand if something is underneath.
Of course, Vlad found hundreds of soldiers here
Hans?
with this method.
Hans, I will leave then my shawl with you. Yeah, don't lose it.
Yeah, this is yours.
Yeah. Right. And be careful, it's sharp.
So this is stuff that's come out of that trench, for those of you who just joined.
And it seems that it is the same trench where the Regina with Wilma.
Yeah, that it's joined on. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just filled in with the ground. Could be soldiers anywhere.
Yeah. Should we check out the other place? Should we walk
Yeah.
over there?
Yeah, we will.
Let's do that.
It will take some time to get there.
Yeah. We could probably talk a little bit about the battles that happened here. That's a good chance to talk about it now.
Yeah. So.
So what really happened here? Speak louder because we're crunching
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
ground.
Jau, stālo! Talis said Inca, you dig there with Hans. Right?
Yeah, so.
This is part of a Riga front line.
Mhm.
It was rather important place because it was one. Here is a long river, Daugava River, and this is one of the places which was held by Russians on this side of the river because Germans got till the river on almost whole river bank.
Speak a bit louder, just in case.
No! Tāli mums vajag tā iet.
We're all spread out pretty far, so everybody's shouting in one side of the forest to the other.
Yeah, and battles for this area were since 1915 till 1917. So a lot of action was.
Along these positions.
Yeah. Even artillery from ships was involved here. Up to I think 305 millimeters.
So big.
Huge rounds
Yeah.
flying around and leaving huge bomb holes.
Yeah.
And
Here's some of the positions, huh?
not far from here started Finnish army. I could be wrong, but it was Jager Battalion 27 from German side.
The German Jaeger Battalion 27.
Those were Finnish volunteers who went through Sweden. Come back.
Yep.
Went from Sweden to Germany to participate in a war against the Russian Empire. Because Finland back then was a part of Russian Empire, and they wanted to make it apart, to make their own country.
Yeah.
And those guys got military training, some war experience here, and then when they moved back to Finland, they started Finnish army. While there was revolution in Russia. As you see, trenches are everywhere here, and soldiers could be buried
Anywhere.
in any of these trenches.
More diggers.
Maybe some of the guys have any questions.
Exactly.
I
If you have any questions, it's the perfect time to ask those questions.
That's some modern rubbish. Some people are pigs.
Yeah, they don't respect the fact that this is a nature park too, and they shouldn't throw their rubbish around here, that's for sure. And before we leave, we always take a good few bags with us. Yeah, it's a real shame. These forests are beautiful. It's definitely a hidden treasure in Europe, Latvia.
I think it's the least populated country in Europe.
So the least populated country in Europe.
I think except Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, so the nature's pretty untouched. I mean, like, we were walking along large positions from World War I. And not much has changed here, just a lot of new growth.
And all these hills here, this is an old seaside from Ice Age.
From the Ice Age, yeah. Wow.
Here was a sea nearby during Ice Age.
So somebody asked the question, who are we looking for today? I mean, who is it we're looking for?
We are looking for lost soldiers. We think that here mainly should be some Imperial Russian soldiers, could be Latvian riflemen, but we can find some lost German soldiers as well. We never know.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. A lot of vitamin C.
Wait, I'll take it in the focus, yeah.
Yeah. It's spruce tree.
Spruce.
Try it, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm going to try it too. If it's good for him, it's good for me. It's extremely sour. Do we have maps from the layout? Another question from these trenches. There's no maps. So, we're on a big, steep hang into the forest. So
for some ticks.
yeah, plenty of ticks. I had one already. The forest's covered in them. The floor of the forest.
Camera in that way.
Yeah. So somebody just asked, can people join these expeditions easily as a tourist?
No, it's for sure not a tourist thing.
It's not for tourists, that's for sure.
There are ways how to join. I see people are joining, but with our strict rules how to do that. If someone is interested, he should write a PM to us. But very small percentage gets accepted.
So that's the answer to that one. I mean, you can understand with the nature of the work that we do, so we can't just have anybody arriving here and expecting to be able to do some proper work with missing soldiers and whatnot. I mean, Legenda is look how steep this is.
So Alex says there always will be someone to hold a shovel.
There's always someone to hold a shovel.
Yeah. What else could you bring?
Yeah, for sure.
If people have some skills which could be useful for us,
Some what?
if they have some useful skills
Some skills, yeah, for sure.
in different ways, but yeah,
But I mean,
that could raise your chances.
so we've walked a good bit already, I'd say. Good few 100 meters already to the second spot.
How you liked it?
Yeah, it's good, it's pretty sour. But it's good. A large anthill. I was telling you about the nature right here. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty warm. I'm wearing I'm like a military style smock coat, quite light, but mainly just for the insects, because I mean you could be covered in ticks here if you walked around in your t-shirt or in some holiday stuff. Not advisable. So, are we close? Do you know?
Yeah, we're close.
Okay, so we're getting pretty close to it. For those of you that have stayed along with us across this bank, thanks for your patience. And guys, please share it or tag your friends or people that you would find who would find our work interesting and what our mission is here in Latvia. That would be really nice. I mean, the more people that know what we're up to, the better.
This is actually a big problem about which governments don't really care.
Yeah, for sure.
They care about remembrance and different events, but they don't care about the real job, because it's very hard.
Yeah, this isn't easy work. It takes a lot of people's own time and own money. It's not easy. But I mean, ask yourself the question, would you want all these soldiers still laying around here in these trenches?
Sorry?
I'm asking myself the question, would I want these soldiers still to be lost here in these forests? Of course not. So the work's pretty noble. I mean, this group needs to continue what they're doing. Beautiful forest.
Here you can see positions, bunkers.
Up on the hill here along the edge.
Yeah.
All positions. Thank you very much, Jeremy. Thank you. So this is day one of our summer expedition, and we've got a few things planned this week. Leads to follow, things to do. There's a lot of people who've arrived from all over the world to make it possible. So somebody's just been writing, can I see Bonnie the dog? Yeah, and this is another story. Should we tell it quickly before we go over there?
Tell it.
What?
Okay, so
Tell us the story with Bonnie.
with a dog, I think it was 26th
You've got
of
a
May.
big fly on your face, it's gone.
Yeah. 26th of May, the dog was together with my father in the woods, and he was bitten by a viper, and he died within 30 minutes, not reaching the animal hospital. So unfortunately no dog with us anymore.
Yeah, that's the story with Bonnie. That's quite sad.
But he died doing his favorite thing.
Yeah, in the
being
forest.
in the woods.
Yeah. So this is this next position. We've walked, I'd say, a good 500-600 meters away from where the other two positions are. And I can see already there's a few boxes here with remains. So let's have a walk around, see what the guys say, what they've found. I'm just catching my breath too. There's a sweat run down my face. It's not been easy, the heat. Yeah,
We have a piece of German tent.
a piece of a German tent. Some sort of Zeltbahn system. Yeah.
And also pieces of Russian soldier.
And also pieces of a Russian soldier.
And so
Now what else have we got? More
this
small
is
personal stuff.
oops. This is second from
Tent
tent.
pieces
Yes, it's German.
in German.
And so this is buttons from this.
Yeah, from this tent system.
Yes.
With the temperature, I think some 25,
Yeah, it must be
25, but it's rather
sticky
high
hot.
humidity.
Yeah, sticky hot. Yeah. Shall we go over here? Let's ask the guys what they've got underneath them. Do you want to tell us what we got, Steve?
We got the deepest soldier
Speak up.
on the hottest day, basically.
The deepest soldier in the hottest day.
Deepest soldier on the hottest day is what Anders and I got here.
Here, you want to give me it? I can hold it out here if you want.
So yeah, we've got 4 or 5 soldiers lined up behind us, but this one's considerably deeper.
A bit louder, Steve, maybe.
Yeah, we've got 4 or 5 soldiers
Yeah.
just behind us here, but this one takes a big step down. It's
Mhm.
much deeper than the others. So whether this is like either an earlier grave or whether it was dug out. So yeah, there's one of the very poor conditioned iron buttons, probably from his shoulder or.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of starting to reveal and get on the top of the soldier now. We've got the legs down this end, heads up that end.
Yeah.
And we're just working our way onto it now. So it's going to take a while to clean up because it is slightly warm. But
Yeah, it's very warm. Sweat's dripping off
apart from
me.
that, it's yeah, we're getting there. I called it. I said it was going to be a rusty button for you. Yeah. You see?
So Anders just found with his pinpointer a small button.
The Deus talks to me. Yeah. A rusty button.
You know from where the button is? Tunic button or something like this, huh?
Has it got a design? Is it?
Maybe a design on it. Yeah, there's mosquitoes all over the gimbal and the camera.
You can keep them.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a pattern on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a Russian one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's really far gone. Really hard to see. But
you
there's
see?
just the middle part of the shield.
I'll put it in my hand.
Yeah, you just got the middle part of the shield that we can just see.
The middle part. There's a little bit, yeah.
Just in there, you can just see what's left of the shield from the double-headed eagle.
Left of the
Tiny
two-headed.
eagle, yeah. You can
two-headed
just see the
eagle.
shield in the middle of the chest.
Yeah. So,
Alright. Put it in
in the box.
Do you see how small that is in the signal that was given? It was still,
Yeah, amazing.
and even though it's a rusty one, if that was a good brass one, you wouldn't be debating whether that's a dig or not a dig or what it's going to be. That was always going to be. Something's rusted around it because those buttons are usually better quality than that.
Yeah.
So it's
Near something else, maybe.
something that's corroded, and that's why you're getting kind of trying to see the brass in the middle, but it's seeing the rust around. So yeah, it's what we expected to come up, so that's always good.
Good call, Steve.
Not easy work.
How you been doing then, Johnny? You've been on a...
All's good. I've been walking around all these
How many
holes.
holes is there on?
There's 3. This is the 3rd, and you're at least 500 meters away from the other ones through the forest on a large hang against the road. So, yeah.
How many they got in there?
Also multiples. They're multiples. They're just expanding the trenches, and
Yeah, I think we have to do the same.
yeah, probably gonna have to do the same.
At
Yeah.
least 4 now.
Hopefully
At
not.
least 4 soldiers in this hole.
Hopefully not that.
That question's probably better answered by Andres, and I'll ask him. How common is it to find German and Russian soldiers in the same trench?
On WW1 positions, I don't remember
Yeah.
finding them in the same trench. On Second World War positions, it happens sometimes. It
Yeah.
happens, but it's again not a common thing because usually one side got the land and they buried their dead properly, and the another side had no possibility to do that, and then the soldiers might be left in trenches.
Or in a hole, yeah, exactly.
They both are left in trenches only if for some reason both sides could not stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, so how the battle went on, there's a
Yeah.
lot to dictate that question. Yeah.
If it's some no man's land, then it could be like that.
Yeah.
But here on the Riga front, I know that at least in 1916, winter of 1916, 1917, I think in the spring of 1917, they had a small peace treaty, unofficial, just to bury the dead on no man's land. Because there were so many and they were starting to rot, and they were just afraid of diseases and decided to, hey guys, let's not shoot for a few days and
bury
our
the dead.
Yeah. But it was World War One. Never heard about something like that on Second World War.
Yeah.
It was much tougher.
We have another question. Are you all archaeologists or historians?
Some of us are historians. Few guys had archaeological training, but most of guys are just volunteers interested in that stuff. Not always you need a paper to do the right thing.
Correct, yeah. And of course, I think it's Legenda's 20th year this year, so I mean these guys have plenty of experience at this stuff. They know what they're looking at. There's not much you haven't seen now. Pretty much seen everything, every possibility.
Yeah, not many things can surprise me.
Yeah, not many things are surprising me. Let's get a look. So they're just cleaning the holes out.
We just got a bit round here if you want to join it.
Yeah, I want to just see stuff.
Possibly
What have you got?
sock and.
Hey Johnny. This one's finished.
Yeah.
It's the sock and leather of a boot down here.
Yeah. So he's found a boot.
A winter's woolen sock around the boot. Similar on that, I think.
So we'll try and get a closer look in here. Should I come in and have a look?
Jump in there.
Yeah. So bear with me. All good. All good. So here we have a soldier. Like that.
I think this is the soldier's hip bone.
Yeah, so there's not just one, of course, there's many in the line.
There's like 3 here.
Yeah,
One,
at
two,
least 3 there.
So it starts moving.
And to show you how deep they are. Look.
He's 9'3".
Yeah, he's pretty big.
This one.
So
Not much room.
not much room in here, yeah. Well, the mosquitoes are bad, huh?
Yeah, man.
They're having a feast.
They are. The horse flies too. Yeah.
So again, that's how they look in here. So I'll step out of the hole and then somebody can pass me the gimbal.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Perfect. So hi from Arno. Arno says hi.
Oh, say hi to Arno.
Yeah.
Arno!
Here we go, wait. Wait.
Hello!
There we go.
Hello, Arno.
Hello, Arno. I think Arno was trying to make it here and his vehicle broke down, so. Appropriate permissions. Well, Legenda are established now for 20 years here. They're very well connected here in Latvia. And they have all the proper expedition permissions. As far as I know, we're also in a national park, so there was other rules explained to us today about rubbish and stuff like this. Keep an eye out, fill bags. So of course, yeah, there's that soldier that's been fully exposed. And did you find anything like a button or anything interesting in there?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. On this guy, I've sort of meant. Victoria.
Only a flat star.
Only a
style button.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, a few 100 meters away from the road, they're left here in their old positions. There was another question: what happens to those remains? Of course, they're buried in a respective military cemetery here in Latvia. What do we have here? What is it?
Это детали от какой-то консервной банки. Потому что если ты посмотришь, тут есть ребрение.
То это не котелок, да?
Это не котелок.
It's not a meskit, it's part of some tin can.
Okay.
Or something similar
Some
to
food
a tin can.
cans or something like this.
затянут в немецкую плащ-палатку. И предположение, что там, скорее всего, его сами немцы здесь и похоронили. То есть, а плащ-палатку использовали, ну, у него русский спагет, а плащ-палатку использовали как просто, чтобы его перенести.
Alexander tells an interesting thing.
So let's hear it. What's...
He said that it seemed that that guy was buried by Germans. Possibly. It's his thought, because he was wrapped in German tent, but he has Russian boots, so it seemed that it is a Russian soldier, but he's buried in German tent. It's unlikely that Russians got some German tents, so it could be either way, but he thinks that those are Germans
Или
buried
же его
them.
здесь могли похоронить тоже немцы, используя ту же самую палатку.
Но подожди,
Нам
или
про-
русские взяли палатку немецкую?
В принципе, если здесь ходили туда и сюда, в принципе, это возможно.
Yeah, he says it could be in both ways, but for sure what is known, he has Russian boots, but he's wrapped in a German tent.
Yeah.
So
Which they've used as like a body bag or to move the body.
The tent halves were used as a body bags in
Потому что
First and Second
это
World
очень
War.
удобно взять тело,
Easy to carry him.
положить его на палатку и тащить именно за углы палатки.
Easy to carry him, to drag by the size of a tent on a forest floor.
В конце концов, даже может один человек так переносить, что положил труп на палатку и просто тянет за углы за собой.
Even one man then can rather easily drag the body.
Потому что в противном случае, чтобы поднять тело весом 70 килограммов, нужно 2 человека. Где ты разодрал себе рукав?
Это вентиляционная дырка.
То есть сейчас на джинсах в городе это тоже вентиляционно?
Да.
То есть ты модный чувак?
Да. Все, ладно, не надо говорить всякую фигню.
Хорошо.
Потому что камера рядом.
Сейчас ты мне оторвешь рукав. Тоже будет модный.
All this is a voluntary work, and we don't get paid for this. So for those of you that just joined, we've opened up 3 World War I positions with each 3 revealing bodies of soldiers, the nationalities of which we haven't really worked out yet, but we'll probably work that out soon.
Do you want to have a look at this now? We're actually got some. Yeah. We've got a lid going up there.
Какие таблетки?
What is that over there, the pelvis? Or? Not that down.
I haven't really dug down there, but we've actually got actual idea for the first. She smashed up real bad.
Can I answer one of those?
No, just answer what they ask you.
You know, we were a pretty big team of internationals from everywhere, really, as far as Canada.
I think not as far as Canada, but as far as New Zealand.
Yeah, as far as New Zealand, so further again, yeah. Yeah, that's right, New Zealanders, yeah, exactly.
New Zealand, Canada.
Yeah, so there's a big team of people.
If we count Matt as a guy from South Africa, then we have covered almost all continents except the Antarctic.
Except the Antarctic's nearly all
and,
continents.
South America.
And South America.
Asia?
Asian islands.
Yeah, Asia. We forgot about Asia. I think we have not had any Asians here.
Где тогда другие ямы-то покажешь?
Да, пойдем потом назад.
Of course, this is
Здесь не лучше стоит?
Anders
Не, ну, как бы я вижу,
from
что
Denmark. And Anders has been how long in Legenda now?
Almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years. Yeah.
Kad būsiet pilnībā attīrījuši, attaisīt uzmanību.
Can you give me a drink, please?
Of course.
What do you need? Water? Yeah, please.
Neņemat ārā. Jā, attaisīt visus un neņemat ārā.
Getting a bit deeper, Steve.
Yeah, we've kind of got a little bit of what's going on now.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's only got one leg, so
Okay.
we've got a leg completely bent up on it. So
Yeah. And what's that to the left?
we're here. Here we've got the leg section here. Upper and lower legs are here, and the toes and the boots and on the
Yeah.
top end.
So you've got a pretty good idea how he's lying now
And we
properly.
found
Yeah.
some Arisaka rounds, so Japanese rifle rounds on this
Yeah.
guy. So obviously that was a Japanese weapon used by the Latvians and Russians here. So
Yeah.
you kind of got a likely nationality again. It's obviously followed in with the other guys we've got here, but
Yeah.
we'll work up and cross the fingers that you get something more distinct from ID. But
Yeah.
So I plan to go back to the first
Yeah.
bit.
Let's make it back to the first one.
Yeah.
We'll come back here.
Alexander wanted
later.
to take a look at the equipment,
Uh-huh.
and he can tell a lot more than I can.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that.
He's much more clever.
Yeah.
там сейчас в этой инвестиционной нашел японцы.
So see you in a bit, guys.
Alright, cheers, gang.
Yeah.
Вот в этом.
Thank you, David. There's a good few ex-soldiers here, actually, from all sorts.
When I go back, I don't want to go on the hills.
Yeah.
But film it like that you don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't understand where we are.
Yeah, we don't want to give the locations away of where we are. We don't need people rocking up here and relic hunting or something like this, because that's not what it's about. We're looking for soldiers. These guys are eating these spruce trees, leaves. So how's the quality today? I mean, I've got the gimbal out, so it should be much better.
This is another edible, but it's not a cauliflower. I don't know how it's called in English.
In English, yeah.
It was common for soldiers when they had no food. They were eating this
Eating
stuff.
stuff like that, yeah, for sure. Some of the trenches. So the walk back here is going to take a little while. The quality's good, I'm glad to hear it.
Film the guy.
It's a bit of an experimental today with the new gimbal, so. And guys, it would be great if you shared this. I mean, we need to get out the word what Legenda's actually doing and what sort of work we're up to, because not a lot of people know about it, and it would be better if more people knew about it. So really appreciate it if you would share it. Okay, so it's a good live stream. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. And we might end up having to do a pause, and that time I'll recharge some stuff so that we can get back online again.
We think about pause, yeah?
Yeah,
Right now.
and then we
I
can do a
think
part
about-
2.
That's a power thing, because it will take us at least 15 minutes.
Yeah,
to
for
that
sure.
point.
So maybe this is a good spot to cut it off
Yeah,
and to come back later.
in some 15-20 minutes, guys can go make a coffee.
Yeah, you have some time now. So say like at least 30 minutes, and we'll be back on with a part 2 today. Here's day 1 of our summer expedition, where we're on World War I positions. 3 trenches have been opened up, and we've found multiple soldiers already, so we're just getting down to the right layer, and we'll be back then with
For the
more
ones who are
footage.
not subscribed, they should make sure that they subscribe, so
Yeah,
they don't
exactly.
lose the second part.
Exactly, so subscribe to it, and you should get a notification then when the part 2 comes up.
And put it like see first. That helps much more.
Yeah, if you put it to see
Facebook
first,
will not show to everyone.
then it will work better, because not everybody gets that notification. So see first and subscribe, and we'll be back later whenever we're
Then
removing the
if you put
soldiers.
First, you will definitely have notification when we have the next live.
Exactly. So we'll leave it there, and come back to you in a bit. So thanks for joining, guys, and we'll see you on part 2.